The two-man is not to be confused with a double date. A two-man is the expectation that you guys are going to link up and maybe do a little smoochy or a little bit more. You guys are going to do the deed. The double date is where maybe Brad and Tiffany are dating and Tiffany's like, I want to set up my bestie with your brother. Bring your brother. We're going to go on a date. Welcome back. It's your host, Hallie Smith, for another episode of Girl Code. I got a request on my spicy site this week. It was something that I was like, okay, I like to make this video because it's honestly very easy to make on my spicy site. It doesn't take that much work, but it's not something I actually enjoy doing in the bedroom because there's just not much fun in it for women. And that is when a man likes to take his pink water bottle and push it between the tatas and kind of, you kind of bounce your tatas up and down on their pink water bottle. Little titty fuck. Even though my girlies are a decent size, I still have to squish them together to do the little bounce and get them jiggling on their pink water bottle. And I've made so many spicy films doing this and it looks really hot. I like to put a bunch of oil on myself, get it nice and slippery, and then, get my man's pink water bottle and, Usually, if you do want to do this with your man, I highly recommend you have him sitting on the couch, sitting on a chair. That way you can kneel and he can be sitting right here, have his pink water bottle out. You're kneeling in front of him, and then you can lean forward and put your girlies on top and squeeze. If you're on the bed lying down flat where people think you should try to do a little ta-ta, slip and slide, it doesn't work. If you're lying down flat, you're gonna have your double chin squished in and he's trying to get over you. It doesn't work smoothly unless you have giant yonkers. Like if you're a girly with some double D's, you don't have to do too much work to grab the girlies together and bounce them between his pink water bottle. But I do have to say, when I was a lot flatter, it doesn't work. There's nothing to squish together sometimes. If you don't have tatas, you sadly cannot partake in that spicy fantasy. If you're flatter, you can give it a try. Your man can slap his pink water bottle on the girlies, but if you don't got nothing to squish, it doesn't work. And honestly, a guy kind of has to be decently well endowed down there on his cucumber to be able to be sliding it up and down on your girly pops, because if they're too small, you can't really bounce or else you'll bounce off of it. It's a tricky situation. And I just think it's totally a male gaze thing. It's more men that like to imagine this idea of a girl sliding her girlies on their pink water bottle, on their cucumber, and it's just like a super hot idea. It's not a realistic thing you want to do in the bedroom. I've made custom videos where I've given my man some action and he finished on the tatas from me sliding up and down. But it wasn't easy because you have to keep it super slippery. Friction is real. And just like if you're giving a classic handy on the cucumber, same thing with your tatas. You have to keep it slippery because any friction is going to drag and it kind of hurts. So eventually, if you're not adding either lotion or lube, it's going to get super dry and frictiony while you're trying to bounce the girlies. Obviously, you can do a little spit, like a little psh, and like kind of splatter all over the place, but your mouth gets dry. There's only so much spit you have in your mouth before you're just like and trying to keep it bouncing. Trust me, I'm a professional. Been there, done that. Friction on the cucumber while you're trying to bounce your girlies on it just doesn't work out well. If you have decent sized taws, give it a go with your man. But honestly, both of your expectations need to be a little bit lower. I asked my man, have you tried this with other women? How does it go? How does it work? Have you ever been with some big tata girls? Like me and my man are very open. I ask him questions like this all the time. We literally make spicy films together on that site. So we have been through it all. There's nothing off limits in the conversation. There's no taboo subject. It's not like, oh, we don't mention exes or past relationships. When you're an adult in a long-term relationship, it's exciting to talk about these things because I like to get a grasp of his sexual history, my history, and we like to learn from it. It's not that I care about the relationship. All I want to know is the experience. Making a podcast where I talk about intimacy and these taboo subjects, my TikToks, and working on a spicy site. I'm a very curious person. That's how I got into this. I started asking questions. I was interested in these topics even when I was younger. And I love to talk about these things with my girlfriends and other girls because I think it's so interesting. The world of this taboo intimacy and fantasies is such a cool topic because it's kind of funny. We're all low-key doing it, but we don't talk about it. Like, have you ever ta-ta fricked a girl? Like, that's a fun one that most guys would probably like to talk about, whether they've tried it or want to try it. I say try it because it is fun. It could be interesting. If you've got a girl with F cups, like my girly pop back in the day, she used to have a very full chest. She actually got them reduced because she had really bad back problems. Girl is a very petite lady. She cannot be handling all that. But she got them reduced. But beforehand, when she had her bigger tatas, she could definitely do that. With her old chesty. She could easily get between there and boom, boom, boom. Even with her current chesty, she totally could too. She's gonna watch this podcast episode and be like, I hear you talking about me. She knows exactly who she is, and my close friends probably know too. Back in the day when she had those bigger ones, I bet it was super easy. She could lie flat and do it. I can't do that. It's a little more squishing together. Speaking of the male gaze, I made a TikTok. Well, I don't know if this thing does do with the male gaze per se, but I made a TikTok to a Charlie X song where she's saying, I want to throw this party for you. And pretty much the topic is like, I only do this thing for a guy. Oh my gosh, there's a fly in the room, guys, during the podcasting. If you are watching this episode on video, I'm getting driven mad by this fly. I was making some pre-podcast TikTok videos and this fly is flying around in the room, making me look like I smell bad, making me look like I got bad hygiene. I just showered yesterday. This fly came in here because it's hot outside. I've been leaving the front door open to get a little breeze in the house, but then it lets in the flies and I don't have one of those screen doors to trap it. So anyways, that's not what we're talking about, but getting back to it, I made that TikTok talking with that sound saying, I just did this thing for a guy, you know, Charlie's song, Party For You. She threw this party to get this guy to come over. The text that I put over the video of, you know, these things that you do for a guy, I talk about how I learned that you need to learn how to separate your attachment from your intimacy with a person. And what I mean by that is sometimes ladies at a younger age, we find ourselves, even older too, unless you learn it and have this realization, that we are performing intimate acts to attach and make a guy stay with us. Like if I give him the best brain, the best pink water bottle action, if I'm the best he's ever had in the bedroom, he will stay with me. He will become my boyfriend, my husband, my partner. He won't be my situationship anymore. I can take it from situationship to boyfriend if I'm just good enough in the bedroom, which is totally not the thing you should ever do. Like, yes, I talk and joke about like, you know, do this in the bedroom and make a man obsessed. But yes, it will make him obsessed, but it's not going to be a good way to attach to your partner. You shouldn't use intimacy as a form of attachment. By using intimacy to get a relationship, you are weaponizing your intimacy, which is really unhealthy. Instead of doing pleasure for pleasure, you are doing pleasure for partnership, and that is not what you want. Pleasure for partnership is attaching to somebody by using intimacy as a form of transaction. I do this amazing act for me, and you will now date me, become my husband, wife, whatever it may be. Men and women can both do it. You have your different attachments. Some people are avoidant attachment. Some people are anxious attachment. If you use intimacy as a weapon in your relationship to make them stay with you, you might be an anxious attachment style. This is what's going to make them stay with you, which is not always the case. You're not going to have a man stay with you just because you perform better in the bedroom. There's always that idea of a super hot model or celebrity gets cheated on. If this beautiful woman is getting cheated on, the rest of us have no chance, because we're not placing our value in a relationship based off our beauty standard and physical things that we bring to the bedroom intimately. That's not going to keep it. You partner up with somebody because you adore their personality, their characteristics, everything else besides intimacy. And your relationship should be two different things. That is why sometimes, because you can meet a guy, you can meet a girl, somebody, and have the most amazing intimacy, but you know you're not boyfriend, girlfriend material. You guys are not long-term material, because while you might click in the bedroom, you might not click outside of the bedroom, and that's completely okay. I think that's also why there's so much shame for women. For years, we've been taught you need to get a husband, you need to rely on this person, and you should save yourself only for marriage or relationships. It teaches us that the only time you get to have pleasure and intimacy is for this long-term relationship where you're going to give yourself over to your partner. Which in theory, yes, that is a beautiful, idea that you're going to save yourself from marriage for this one person. But you then are somewhat turning your intimacy transactional. It's not something new. I'm not a revolutionary when I come to this. It's just a personal realization. I was like, wow, I've been using intimacy to secure a relationship. I've been using intimacy to attach in a relationship, and you need to separate the two. Because your intimate life and your love life, those are two different things, which sounds weird, but it's true. Because you either have anxious attachment style or you have abandonment issues. Maybe you feel like they won't leave you if you are the best self, if you're the prettiest, if you're the best in bed, they will not leave you. And that's coming from a fear of abandonment. Instead of the healthier version, which is like, I've given my best to this relationship. I've given my best personality. I've really tried to connect with them, but we just don't work. And you separate because it was a mutual thing or it just didn't work out. Not because it was a failure on your part, not because if I was just better in the bedroom, he would have stayed with me. You can't connect those two things. Those are completely separate and unrelated. I think the bigger idea is to realize that when you are in a relationship, Do things because you want to do them for your own pleasure and your own gain. If you want to give your man brain and have the best pink water bottle action, do it because you want to please your partner. That is completely okay to want to please somebody and give them the best experience they've ever had just for the pleasure of it. Not because you're trying to make them stay with you or because they are telling you that you have to do this. I do everything I do intimately in the bedroom because I want to please my partner, because I care for my partner. Even if it's just a quick hookup, you can be with somebody and you know this is just a fling and still want to please that person in an intimate way. That is completely okay to want to make them happy. But you're not doing it to secure that relationship. You're doing it purely for yourself. So that is where I don't like when some people are like, well, I used all your tricks and he still left me. I'm never saying you want to weaponize your intimacy. That's never the case. It is okay to want to give your all in the bedroom and have all these fun, cool tricks and positions. But that is simply it. You're not going to be like, well, I did all these crazy things for you and you still left me. You sadly have to separate those two. And nobody can also tell you what to do either. This is why it's so important to have open and clear communication within your relationship and your intimate life. You can have a good communication about your feelings and your relationship, but sometimes people never talk about their intimate life. Like the things they do in the bedroom literally just stay in the bedroom, and that should not be the case. It should be okay to talk about like, hey, I like what we're doing together, or I need more of this. And that is why it is really good to be in touch with yourself. Have talks with yourself, journal, therapy, talk to your friends about your relationships and your dislikes and your likes and what you're looking for. It's important, especially for the ladies, to talk about your intimate life with your partner, not just in the bedroom, but outside of it too. Lots of us women rely on our female friendships to talk about our intimate life. We'll be like, oh, I'm having struggles finishing, or this guy is terrible in bed. You talk to all your girlfriends about it except for the guy. And then you are like, I'm so annoyed he can't help me get to reach the O, but you never tell him. You need to be communicative with your partner as well. Yes, you guys can have great communication in your relationship. You guys talk about your feelings, la la la, but you don't talk about your intimate life and your intimate feelings. You need to express those things too. That way you both feel like you're giving what you're getting. That's what you really want in a nice, healthy relationship. You're not using your intimacy as a transaction. You're not using pleasure as a form of attachment. You're doing this because you both want to, and you have an open communication. You can openly talk to each other about things, and nobody's going to get mad. Nobody's going to get upset. And you're going to avoid situations where you might feel like you're performing for them or that they want you to do these certain things because maybe you think this is what they want. You think they need these crazy things in the bedroom, but maybe you've never talked about it with them. They really honestly don't care about that. Before you go jumping to conclusions on what you think somebody wants, always talk to them in the bedroom, because maybe you'll find out they don't like that technique or they don't like that trick or they need more this or you need more that. It's an open communication where you guys both explain what you need and want. I could talk about for hours and hours. I love it. It's something that goes into so many other little tidbits about our society, women. If you are doing these things, that's completely okay. Do not feel bad at yourself if I say this and you're like, check mark fills that box. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. I had this realization too that I was doing this and I was like, shit, it kind of hits you like, damn. It's just like if a guy takes you out to dinner, he takes you to the nicest, fanciest restaurant, buys you the most expensive dinner, and then at the end of the dinner, he's mad that you're not going to go home with him and, go to Pound Town. He's like, oh, well, I did all these things for you and now you won't even go to bed with me, because there is no transaction on intimacy. You can't put pressure on somebody to do that. You cannot weaponize your intimacy. Guys do it all the time, but so do women. We just do it in different ways. Instead, we'll maybe perform some crazy thing in the bedroom or give them the best brain they've ever had. And then we get mad when they're like, yeah, so this is just a situationship. I don't want to date. And then we take it on ourselves and we're like, well, maybe if I was better. And then men do their own thing, like, oh, she's just a B. Maybe I just need to be more of a player and not take them on expensive dates. Everybody is just misunderstanding. You cannot expect something for doing these things. Speaking though, of doing things intimately and doing things because you want to, let's talk about something that ladies love to do, men love to do, and we love to do together. And that is the two-man 101. If you don't know what a two-man is, the two-man is where two friends are going to go meet with another group of two people. It could be man, girl, they, them, whoever. It's like two girls and they're going to go meet with two guys. The two-man is not to be confused with a double date. A two-man is the expectation that you guys are going to link up and maybe do a little smoochy or a little bit more. You guys are going to do the deed. The double date is where maybe Brad and Tiffany are dating and Tiffany's like, I want to set up my bestie with your brother. Bring your brother. We're going to go on a date. That's a double date where one of them is dating. Maybe both of you guys are already dating and you guys are going to go on a date together. Here are the rules to make it a perfect meetup because summer is coming up. Lots of us are about to get out of school, college, university, be on vacation. You need to know how to handle the two-man right because a bad two-man can literally break up your friendship and you don't want to let that happen. You don't want your friendship to end over a misunderstanding at the two-man. So first things first, ladies, you need to pick the man you want before the two-man. Before you meet, say you are meeting with Brad and Chad, Tiffany and Claire, you two need to have picked who you want. Like Tiffany wants Brad and Claire wants Chad. Have that idea in your head because the last thing you want to go wrong on a two-man is that you guys each like the same guy. And even if you're like, oh, okay, well, Brad's hotter than Chad, what do? Rock, paper, scissors. It's the cleanest, fairest thing. Flip a coin, do something that is a fair game where you guys can pick and you have to let your feelings go out the door, okay? Because you might get petty. Maybe they get the hotter one and you get the less hot one. You can't be petty about it. You just got to make that decision. Pick the right person for the two-man. If you're with the wrong person, if you're with a girl who's super flirty, she might be unhappy if she gets the uglier guy, or she might be a little bit too, how do I say, not a girl's girl, and she might be flirting with both of them at the same time when you guys arrive. Don't bring that girl that you know is going to cross you. Make sure if you're going on a two-man, you're with a friend that you can trust, that's loyal, somebody that's not going to leave you hanging, and somebody that's not going to try to take both of them. She needs to be secure. Don't bring your insecure friends to the two-man. Make sure you pick your man and pick your friend. Those things are going to be important. Usually, the guys might have roughly picked who they want. You can feel the vibe when you get there. For the ladies, try to have that conversation beforehand so it's not awkward. So that way you guys aren't each putting heat on the same man and he's like, but what about my friend over here? Okay, don't mess it up. Have that conversation beforehand. Make sure you're wearing something comfy and casual, but cute. Maybe some cute little workout leggings and a tank top, or a t-shirt and tank tops, little shorts and a skirt, whatever it may be. That's the thing about a two-man. Two-mans are not a double date. This is casual. Two-mans are about casual. You guys can do something where you go to their house, watch a movie together, go to the pool, the hot tub, whatever it may be, but be more dressed casual, a little bit more relaxed. You're trying to get a little smoochy, a little besitos, a little puss-puss, okay? So figure it out beforehand. That way you guys know you're dressed comfy, you're ready for the event. And then when you get there, do not be on your phone the whole time at a two-man. If you notice the two guys or the two girls are on their phone too much, just be like, hey, let's get off our phone. Let's put on a movie, a game. Have something in your pocket. Download on your phone Heads Up and be like, okay, guys, we're going to play Heads Up. Or you guys can play beer pong. You guys got a lot of games you can play. You guys can play some spicier games, like, I don't know, something where it's a little bit more, rated R, but pick something. You guys don't want to be on your phone. Now, isolate your person. If you're getting Brad, greet Brad and be like, oh, hi. Immediately greet everybody, hug both of them. Hi, Brad. Hi, Chad. This is my friend Tiffany. Introduce each other. Immediately introduce yourself on a two-man, okay? You don't want to be awkward. Where are your social skills? Introduce your friend. Even if you don't know each other. Hi, Brad. Tiffany. Hi, Chad. If you know you're getting Brad tonight, you're going to be like, hi, Brad. Go sit on the couch. We're going to put on a movie. And you sit next to your man. Do not let Brad and Chad sit next to each other. You want to be next to Brad, and she wants to be next to Chad. Sit next to your men. That way you are clearly setting the intention. The men will know, okay, she's getting him, you're getting me. If you guys are doing something together, try to find your way to get out quickly. So say you guys are watching a movie or something and you're at your house. You're like, yeah, we're watching a movie. Oh my, Brad, how I was talking about my art collection? My rack collection? It's in my bedroom. Do you want to come see it? Brad, let's go see it. And you leave your friends and you separate immediately. Like you guys can start doing your little thing together. You guys are playing a game together. And then you could be like, oh, I really want to get us some drinks. Brad, do you want to help me go to the kitchen and get some drinks, get some chips? Bring your person along. Treat them like your puppy dog because you guys need to separate. That way you have your alone time to start doing your thing, whatever that might be. Now, I have to say, I've done a two-man in a car, one car two-man. Say you guys are going to be like, okay, we're going to go do a two-man. We're going to meet at Taco Bell and we're going to meet in the car. Hopefully you guys each have your own car. You can be like, yeah, we'll meet outside Taco Bell. You guys pull up. You guys can be like, okay, should we go order? Or even smarter, be like, oh, let's do drive-through. We can just eat it and sit in the car. But you need to change the seating arrangement. You need to be bold on a two-man. Say your man, Brad, is driving the car and his friend sitting with him in the passenger, be like, oh, hey, Chad, do you mind if I sit in the front seat with Brad? Chad's gonna get the idea. He knows you guys are a two-man, so he's gonna be like, okay, you wanna sit next to your man, I'm gonna sit in the back seat with her. Claire back there will say, that's our girl. He gets the idea. You have to be bold and change positions. You want to always be next to your man. If you guys are in the car together, on the couch, the pool, the hot tub, you're going to be sitting next to them. Once you are sitting next to them, you can order your food. You guys are each meeting and like you guys walked and they drove and you guys are in one car. If you and your friend are close enough, you don't mind maybe doing a little makeout or something in front of each other. You guys are minding your business, but you can be in the same car. I've done it with a friend. So if she's right there in the back seat while I'm smooching my man and she's smooching hers, I can look back and get a real life example to then talk about later. So once you're next to him, if you guys are in the car, you can be joking and kind of like separate to your own conversations. Try to take the conversation from a group convo to a private convo. If you see them in the backseat, be like, oh yeah, Brad, what were you doing today? Don't be like, what were you guys doing today? We're not doing the we thing. We're doing what were you doing? That way you guys are each showing your intentions. And the other thing about being on a two-man is you want to pick the right person. Another thing about picking the right person on a two-man is that your girl is going to kind of help wing woman you and you are going to help wing woman her. So if you see like, okay, they need to sit next to each other, you're going to be like, oh my God, Claire, go sit next to Brad. A bad two-man is going to be a girl that's more insecure. She's trying to flirt with both of them. She maybe doesn't like the guy she's wants, so she's kind of being annoying. That is a bad two-man, and that's just going to make it super awkward. The best thing I can say to not make the two-man awkward is to be the perfect wing woman. And say you guys are at the event, you pick up your chance to go away. Me and Brad are going to go get drinks, and you and Brad never come back with the drinks. So you and Brad get stuck in the kitchen. You make sure that you guys diverge and go do your thing. Once you and Brad are done, you come back out, you kind of check on things like, okay, it looks like they're done. To not be awkward, just be like, it's getting kind of late. I think we need to get going home. Hey, I think I got to get going. I just got a text from my roommate. We need to get home. Find your excuse. Have your out ready with your friend. Have your code word, okay? Like, okay, it's time to go. We need to get out of here. And then leave and be like, hey, we had such a good time. Thank you. Bye, bye. Say bye to both of them. That's the best part of the two-man when you guys are back together being like, okay, what happened when I left? What did he do? What did he say? What did you do? What did I do? That's the fun part. And that is how you're going to have a successful two-man. Don't overthink it. Just be a good wing woman. Have your girls back and don't get mad at your bestie if you don't get the man you want. Even if you do not get the man you want, you don't have to do something. There's no expectation, but don't ruin it for your bestie. I say you just met him, you're like, he just wasn't my type. I didn't really want to do anything. That's cool. But if your bestie's in the other room and she's having a good connection with her guy, give them a little bit of time. You can just be like, hey, let's watch this movie. You want to watch some funny TikToks? Just be nice to your person. You don't want to be mean and be like, well, you're chopped. I'm not going to talk to you tonight. If you don't get the person you want and you don't want to do anything, you don't have to. There's never pressure like that. The last thing I have to say is if you guys are having a terrible time on the two-man, like you and your bestie are like, this is terrible. They're just not like, you guys are trying to make things work, but they are not. It's awkward. It's weird. You can't get out of it. Have a code word. You can text each other. Okay, if I text you ketchup, that means we need to go. Say something goes down, you guys are like not connecting or it's a weird vibe. Have a code word ready. Even if you gotta be awkward and during the like, ketchup, you guys gotta yell it out. Have your code word ready. That way you guys are like, okay, it's time to wrap it up. Honestly, I one time got caught up in a two-man because I snuck out and my parents found out I was getting calls from them left and right. Get your ass home. Where the hell are you, Hallie? And I was like, catch up, we gotta go. And she was like, okay, let's go. Sorry, guys. It was really a bummer because we had just pulled up on the two-man. We hadn't even two-man yet. So things happen. Have a code word. Been there, done that. It sucks when the two-man goes wrong. And in my case, I was gonna get grounded for the rest of my semester. All right, guys. Speaking of sharing is caring, you have a good friend who's gonna help wing woman you. Me and my friend were on a trip. We were traveling together for a long time, and I had brought one of my intimate toys. I had it in my suitcase. My friends all laughed at me. They were like, girl, when do you plan on using that? But I was like, I'll find my time. I will find my alone time when you guys aren't here. And I did. Until one of my friends later on the trip was like, hey, you still got that toy? And I was like, I do have that toy. And my girl, actually, she was having some struggles reaching the finish line. She could not get out of her head for a bit. She just could not reach the O. So I was like, baby, let me help you out. Take my toy. I promise you that thing gets me done in less than 3 minutes. She borrowed my toy and ended up working out so well that I ended up passing my toy back and forth with us. We were sharing one fun, spicy toy for about 3 months. Obviously, we were good people, and before I gave it back to her, I would wash it, clean it, and make sure it was sterilized. But yeah, you're really best friends with somebody when you share your intimate toys. I put my friends onto toys all the time. I love them, and I get sent some, and I think they're fun to try and talk about. I give everybody toys. I'm like the intimacy fairy, giving out toys left and right. You get a pink cucumber, you get a little vibe. Everybody gets a vibe. I would love to join a book club, but instead we have intimate spicy toys. Each month we are going to order a subscription and get a new intimate spicy toy, and then we're all going to try it, and we're going to come back for tea, maybe coffee, drinks, or cookies. We use it, see what we like about it, dislike, and then at the end of the month everybody meets up for drinks and food. We all talk about it. We're like, hey girls, what did you think of Vibe? Did you like her double? Did you like the hyper speed? Because it was too much for me. And then we all talk about the toy and we're like, great toy, guys. Or like, oh, no, didn't hit it for me. We leave our reviews, go on the website, leave a review. And then we're like, okay, guys, what a great book club meeting. But it's not a book club. It's like a vibe. It's a vibe club. Oh, I could name it Vibe Club. Anyways, that would be my dream book club. Who wants to join the Vibe Club? This is my business. I'm going to start distributing monthly toys to a subscription, and we're all going to review it and have a little chit chat afterwards. And be like, what do you guys think? I loved it. Honestly, that would be the best. I have an idea right here. That's a book club I would be down for. We talk about it, we review it, and then we're like, okay, see you guys next month when you get your new toy. No, that's insane. But it would be fun. I would be down for it. I'm a good friend. I share my toys. I would join a Vibe book club. Years and years of practice of being a good girl's girl. I have to say though, being a girl's girl is a learning process. Sometimes when you're young, don't be mad at yourself. You make mistakes. Not everybody's perfect. I've done bad shit. I've been a bad friend. Everybody makes mistakes, but you learn, you process, and you grow, and you don't repeat that mistake. That is the trick to being a girl's girl. Nobody's perfect. You're gonna frick up at some point, and that's okay. But as long as you're down to talk about it, discuss it with your friends, admit to your mistakes, own up to your bullshit, and then recover, not everybody's perfect, but you can learn how to be a girl's girl. All right, guys, it's that time of the day. Q&A time. Before we get into Q&A time, I'm just taking a little sippy because I have been talking for like 45 minutes. I've been loving these high noons. This is not sponsored, but I'm literally just chugging them because, oh my gosh, I spilled it. They're honestly so freaking good, and it just helps me loosen up a little bit during the show. You try talking for 45 minutes and your throat is going to be dry. Okay, first question. Hi, Hallie. I've been watching your videos, and recently I've gotten married, and I'm Christian. Me and my husband waited until marriage. We have now been intimate for a while, but overall, I feel like I'm just lost. I really struggle with feeling hot and sexy in the bedroom. I'm a very submissive person, and I find it hard to express myself intimately. Is there any tips or tricks you have that can help me be more spicy? This is something that is honestly a learned process. To be confident in the bedroom, it doesn't just happen overnight. And if you're somebody that has never done anything intimately and you save that for marriage, it has so many pros. But at the end of the day, everything has a pros and cons. People who have been doing intimate things for a longer time before marriage live and learn. It's not that you can't learn these things with one person forever, but you're going to have to learn it. It's a learning process to find your confidence in the bedroom, to find what makes you feel good, you enjoy doing to please your partner, and what you enjoy receiving in pleasure. Don't feel mad at yourself. You are behind, but not in a bad way. You guys just have to take the time to learn these things together. You just have to learn it with that person. Usually people date over time. They learn things about themselves. You guys get to learn that together, which is a beautiful thing. That's any relationship. You're going to learn something with somebody. You're going to take it away, maybe use it on your next relationship. But with waiting till marriage, you get to experience everything for the first time together. You will have to learn things though. First thing is, if you are not feeling confident, like how you dress, what to wear, I think there's an expectation that we're going to put on this crazy lingerie when you have intimacy, especially if you're somebody that waits till marriage. Super cute, intense lingerie set. It's got the stockings, the side corset, the top, the bra, so many little connecting pieces. The first time I put on lingerie and surprised my partner when I was younger, I was probably 19. I just remember coming out like, hey, look what I'm wearing. It was terrible. One of my favorite people who you should look into if you want to really learn how to express yourself intimately through outfits is Dita Von Teese. She is amazing. She is the queen originator of lingerie, vintage lingerie, pinup girl style, and feeling confident in what she wears. One of my favorite things she talks about is that when you wear spicy, intimate things, you are not coming out of the bedroom like, look at me. No, you are wearing it. It is just something you do. It's second to breathing. You just feel hot, start smooching, and begin to act. Her idea is honestly to make your lingerie and to make your intimate, spicy undergarments an everyday thing. It's something you wear all the time. It's something that you feel confident in. For everyday people that maybe don't want to wear a full corset and lace bra every single day, wear something that makes you feel good in the bedroom. Also, something that you wear on the daily for yourself. For example, today I'm wearing a little pink Victoria's Secrets bra. It has little pink and white stripes. This is something that I usually wear every day. To feel confident, I would wear exactly this little bra. And then I'd probably match it with a cute little pink thong because that's something I wear all the time. So when I walk out, I'm going to feel very natural in it. So if you want to get used to these things, wear them more often. Wear your lingerie under your everyday clothes if possible. Obviously, sometimes it doesn't work with a shirt or something, but wear these things in a confident way and make them a part of your everyday life. Not just something you wear for a guy or your partner. You should wear intimate things because they make you feel good. And for some women, it's not always going to be little lacy underwear and bra. It might be your t-shirt and your little Brandy Melville shorts. It might be different for everybody. So find what feels good. Sometimes you might be like, I just don't like it. And honestly, half the time men just take it off. So find what works for you. It could be a moo-moo. If your grandma had 10 children wearing her moo-moo, that is because that's what made her feel hot, confident, and her man knew that that's what made her feel hot and confident. Men are attracted to that confidence and like like I know I look good in my moo-moo. So if you feel that confidence within yourself wearing spicy lingerie or a t-shirt and bra, whatever it is, he will reciprocate and feel that energy coming off of you. So it's better to feel confident. If you are struggling in the bedroom, you're new with somebody, you have to communicate about your intimacy and find what works for you. For example, if he goes down on you, you might feel self-conscious of him looking at your face. Talk to him like, hey, just if you could not look at me when you're going down south on my kitty cat. I literally tell my man that. I don't want you peeking over while you're trying to eat me out. Some women love it. Some women are like, oh my God, I love when he looks at me when he's going down. That's to each their own, but communicate that because he won't know unless you tell him. So unless you communicate like, hey, I like or don't like this, you need to tell him. And find positions that make you feel less exposed. When you're new to intimacy, it's about vulnerability. You're scared of somebody seeing all of this. You're scared of wearing lingerie because you're like, what does my body look like? What do I feel like? If I'm in this position, what is he seeing? Find positions that make you feel less awkward. Instead of maybe eating you out, classic laying on your back, maybe lie on your tummy. Try something different that makes you feel less exposed and more comfortable because that's going to help you relax and step out of your head and be more present. Because you guys are new, maybe it's a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe you're having problems reaching the finish line because he might not know what he's doing down there yet. You guys just might not have talked about it enough. With a person that's had multiple partners before marriage, they can understand what they like and dislike and talk about it with their partner, and same with their partner, they know what they like and dislike. You guys have to do that, but together. Try a bunch of different stuff. Try crazy positions, boring positions, different times of day that you guys go to Pound Town. It doesn't just have to be nighttime. Mix it up. Find what works for you. I personally love nighttime because that's usually when I'm in the mood, but my man loves it in the afternoon. So sometimes we'll do that for each other because we know the other person enjoys that more. So find what you guys like. And invest in lube and toys because you can find toys that you can use as a partner, a little vibe on the kitty cat. It will help you so much. If you've ever tried doggy with him from behind and then you have a little vibe on your kitty cat, it will hit like nothing else and you will definitely reach the O. If you're a little bit dry, you might be going to Pound Town for like 10, 15 minutes and you're going to notice your kitty cat starts to get a little dry. Even if you're into it, it might get dry. Invest in lube. Self-confidence, ladies, is to read. Read intimate literature, read spicy things that get you in the mood, that get you tapped into that energy. Maybe watch some spicy videos or listen to some spicy audios. Find what turns you on, especially if you're somebody that's waited till marriage. Usually you've been a little more reserved and restricted in your intimate life, saving yourself so you just don't have exposure to those things. Expose yourself to these things. Do it with your partner. Watch spicy videos together. Read spicy things. Watch 50 Shades of Grey, something that gets you a little bit in the mood and thinking about it. And then maybe while you guys are on the couch watching that movie, eventually by the end of it, you're going to be like, I actually want to try that pose. See what gets you going and tap into that energy because it's honestly just something you haven't tapped into. Once you learn how to tap into that energy and like shit, this gets me going, it unlocks a whole nother world of fun and pleasure. And usually for women, it takes a lot more mental stimulation to get us going than just the physical. So I hope that helps you. Even if you're not new to intimacy, this is great for everybody to hear. Next question. Hey, Hallie, I'm really worried. I think I lost my V card to the wrong person. I didn't really feel we were connected or that it was deeply intimate. I then did it again with a new person, and this time it felt so intimate. I felt like it was my first time. It wasn't rushed. We were very relaxed. It really felt good. And I'm just confused as which experience that I should mark as my first time. This is actually a really fun question because I think there's a lot of pressure on women. Like, you got the first time, it's all or nothing. It has to be the best because you're going to remember it forever. I barely remember my first time, and that's not bad. I remember it, but it wasn't all that because the first time you get intimate, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you like. As I just said from the last question, how to get to know yourself, what gets you going, what turns you on. It's a process to know yourself. Maybe you didn't know the right positions to try that got you going, and you didn't know how to emotionally connect with somebody intimately because it's a different thing you have to learn. And maybe if you were with a second person and you're like, wow, this time we were so passionate, it was so intense. That is honestly just the world of dating and finding that right connection. It's really hard to find a deep, intimate connection with somebody that transcribes also into your intimate life. I have been with men, and yeah, we had technically great Pound Town. It was great. Everything went well. I finished, he finished, everybody was happy, but it wasn't passionate. It wasn't like fire. It wasn't fireworks. We were so close. I really liked that guy. We connected so good, but the intimacy was just like, it was good. It wasn't nothing I'm going to remember forever. And then the guy that I had maybe not that much connection with, we were like, okay, I like you, you like me, but I didn't feel like love. And then you have the best Pound Town ever. So it could really go vice versa. And that is why it's not bad to have multiple partners. Your connection with people changes. Yes, it's something you can build and work on, but you might just find like, shit, it doesn't get passionate. It doesn't get connected like it does with that one person. So if it is your first time and you're like, it didn't go how I planned, don't think about it. Different people incite different things within us. Different people bring out different qualities and personalities and sides of ourselves that we didn't even know existed. That's why it's good to have different friends and multiple different backgrounds and association with a lot of different people in your life in general, because it makes you express and learn from perspectives you didn't expect. And the same thing goes for your intimate life. It's good to try new things, try new people, try new experiences to find what gets you going. So it's not bad that that first time didn't go as planned or it didn't feel like this giant fireworks show. There's so much pressure in our society to have the perfect first time and to have perfect intimacy in general, but each person's intimacy is uniquely their own. It is only your own experience. If you did not like your first time, you don't have to count that as your first time. If the second person you hooked up with, you actually felt that deep, passionate connection, you're like, that was my first time. That was your first time. It's just like your body count. It is your choice, whether it's 10, 5, or 20, and you say it's 2, and they say it's 8. Anybody's scale can be different. What you consider intimacy, somebody else could consider the opposite. It's completely up for interpretation. Intimacy is interpretative, and that's what people get confused about. They try to put a name and a pressure on one thing, like this is Pound Town, but that throws out all other people's intimate experiences, whether you're non-binary, heterosexual, queer, you throw out other people's experiences because your intimate life is solely yours. It's your experience, and you get to label it how you feel. But I'm so happy that your second time went so good for you and that you feel like this is really what you thought your intimacy could be and that it will be. Really take what you've learned in that second time, what got you going, the communication or talking that you guys did. Remember that. Write it down, because the more you guys can learn about yourself through these processes and write it down so you remember, it's really going to help you further healthy communication and intimacy in the future. All right, next question. What do you have on in the background when you're doing the deed? Like, do you put on a movie, music, or is it just like nothing? When it comes to having background music, this is really funny because I have to admit, one of my first intimate experiences, there was a certain TV show on the background that I can literally never watch again. Anytime I see that TV show, I just think of being intimate. That first awkward experience, I did not know what I was doing. I remember the tension and the nervousness within me. I say no TV, no movie. If you do start by watching a movie and then getting intimate, maybe pause it, maybe turn it off. If you want background noise, I would say no music, because music is going to make you guys hit to the beat. Whether you want to or not, they're going to be doing a little bam chicka bam bam, and then you're going to realize, like, are they staying on the beat? Because you literally can't not. Like, your body wants to find the rhythm. The rhythm's going to find you. So if you have music on in the background during intimacy, you're going to accidentally start working to the rhythm, and then when you go off the rhythm, it kind of feels weird. So Pause the music, don't have any music unless it's really mellow music, maybe just some nice relaxing oceany waves, something very calming. Or if you're watching a TV show, it could be a really intense scene, like a crime scene or an action movie that's not gonna be very bam chicka bam bam. Like you're gonna be lying on your back, look at the TV, and Tom Cruise is having a super brutal fight and it's gonna distract you. Or you'll be watching some other movie, it's a super funny part and a wholesome family event, and you're like, okay, this doesn't really match the vibe. I would go more for background noise, like turn on the fan, turn on the heater, get some noise going in the background where it's a little less pressure, but find white noise instead of a TV show or something. Maybe you have a really good spicy intimate playlist, but even then, I have an intimate spicy playlist I made on my phone years ago, and I cringe at it because I'm like, what did I think I was gonna be doing bam chicka bam bam to? And anything you watch or listen to when you get intimate is gonna be ingrained in your head forever. You will remember it. Trust me, there are certain songs I listen to and I'm like, wow, that just transports me back to that moment. So pick and choose it wisely. All right, last question. Hey girl, what do I do after me and my man finish doing the deed? Am I supposed to go to the bathroom like everybody says? Do I take some pills? What should I do to make sure everything stays fresh down there? One of my favorite things to do after you get intimate with somebody is to, first of all, go to the bathroom. They say that for a reason. Any bacteria inside is going to get flushed out. It's going to help reduce the chance of getting a UTI and any infection. Next, just do a little wipe front to back. I have this little spray by a wellness brand, Love Wellness. It's an antibacterial spray that I sprayed on the outside. If I just got freshly waxed or shaved, the skin is very exposed, there's no bush, I spray that after Pound Town when I'm in the bathroom because it helps kill bacteria on my outside bikini line to prevent ingrown hairs, razor bumps, or anything like that, especially because, as you guys know, I'm a mattress actress. When I go to Pound Town, getting hot and sweaty, maybe filming a movie for like 45 minutes, an hour, you don't want all that friction and bacteria messing up your bikini line and creating bumps. I know people like to use boric acid, but not too often. I also like to eat my Greek yogurt, lots of things with probiotics, kefir, drinks like that, kombucha. Those are all really good for you. I also take these pills by O Positive, the Euro, and these are like little pH balanced pills that just have like good, as I said, probiotics and other vitamins that are really good for your coochie. I highly recommend those ones. They're really good. I know also Lemmy, the Kim Kardashian, or no, not Kim Kardashian, Kourtney Kardashian. I always forget the names, guys. I'm sorry. Kourtney Kardashian, her brand. Those are some really good ones. She has like kitty cat pills that you can take to have good vitamins. Take care of your kitty by eating the right foods, using the bathroom, freshen up. If you guys did do something a little rougher, you guys went to Pound Town a little bit harder, maybe shower afterwards, take a nice hot bath to help soothe. For the most part, there's not too much you have to do. I will make a TikTok about more of these things I like to do. And I also always have baby wipes on hand. So if there's anything sticky, you can always just clean yourself off and keep things fresh down there. And yeah, last but not least, let your kitty cat breathe. She needs air. Don't go throwing on that lacy thong right after. Make sure you let her air out. Let your kitty cat breathe. Go to bed without anything on, just your little pajama shorts or nothing at all. Fully up to you, but let your kitty cat breathe. All right, guys, that wraps up this episode of Girlcore. If you like the podcast, I hope you guys do. I hope you guys are enjoying. Make sure to leave me a good review, a little 5 stars. I really appreciate the support and want to continue making these videos and helping my girl core community. See you guys next Sunday.